When I first started guitar, progression felt easy because everything was new, but soon I hit a really quick roadblock when I was playing lead guitar. I built up all my thoughts around I have to play in this scale and play these notes and create this melody or this guitar line, but that is actually what led me down a very bad path. And on this path, I kept getting stuck trying to learn new solos because there was just this ingredient that was missing. And it wasn't because I was playing the wrong notes. It was actually because I was playing the right notes wrong. It is a concept that's going to eat many beginner and intermediate players because rhythm is one of the most overlooked things about playing guitar because most people like to emphasize the importance of that soloing sound that makes them feel cool and sounds pretty good. The first question I would have if I was hearing this for the first time is, why is rhythm so important over melody when melody seems to be this thing that gets stuck in our ears, we sing back, everyone loves it, but it's actually rhythm that drives the strength of that melody forward. Because one, when you're playing out of time, it sounds sloppy and someone's ear can't track it, which then makes your melody not very catchy and memorable. But this rhythm is actually what sets the dynamic in a whole band setting. When you're playing on your own and there's really nothing else going on, you're just practicing, rhythm can be up for grabs. But when you're in a setting with other musicians and your rhythm is off, no matter how good your lead playing sounds, it's just going to suck because it's not going to match anything and it's not going to exert any emotion for more than like 4 seconds. So as I began to learn the importance of rhythm, I had to find and develop a few exercises to get me to a point where I was comfortable playing lead guitar with near perfect rhythm, which actually made me have to go and focus on playing rhythm guitar, big shocker, and implementing those chord and kind of bass progressions into my soloing. And there's a few exercises that really help me with this that you should take home today. Number one helps with lead and rhythm guitar, and is finding a mode/scale, whether it be 1 through 7. If you're already subscribed, you know exactly what I mean by that. But find your scale and alternate pick in timing. But what I would do with this exercise that many teachers actually don't tell you to do is don't use a metronome, but use your voice and count off the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And for people that don't know, that's like playing doubles to a metronome. And this is what the exercise would look like. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so on. And my second exercise is going to go a little bit away from that rhythm guitar piece I was talking about. We'll bring it in a second, but you're going to be playing simple lead lines, almost like a bass player, while still counting out that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, with your voice being your metronome. But instead, you're going to be playing lines that are 1 or 2 notes and are just different note lengths besides doubles. So you can play like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For those first 2 exercises, there's a clear path of progression, because when you're very good with doubles, guess what? You now have to do 16th notes, and it might tire out your voice a little bit, but it's going to make you an excellent player. And these last few exercises are going to emphasize the point of lead is less important than rhythm. So we're going to take a step back, and we're going to go back to some very basic rhythm guitar exercises. And what I want you to do is I want you to pick progressions in a major or minor key, like 6-1-5-2, 3-5-6-4. Doesn't really matter. And focus on playing those progressions in a different rhythmical sense, just like the other exercise where you count off 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but you focus on the chord progression along with counting it off like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then you take that a step further and you actually use more complicated chords to understand how to play lead guitar off chords. A good example of this would be changing major or minor chords into a suspended fourth, and also turning things into major sevenths or minor sevenths to help you build a better vocabulary that's going to make this really good, because this is insanely strong. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use YouTube and you're going to look up a guitar solo without a backing track in whatever BPM and key you'd prefer. And the reason you're going to actually do this backwards is you are going to play the chords to drive the emotion, and you are going to be the one playing the chords to make this of someone else's sound amazing. Now, I know what you're saying, practicing that for rhythm, how's that going to help my lead ability? Well, it's really just reverse engineering the process of how are you going to be good at soloing over someone else's rhythm when you cannot provide a good enough rhythm and understand the dynamic between lead and rhythm. Because lead guitar actually feeds off of the rhythm. The rhythm creates the harmony that then the lead can emphasize, making the emotion super, super strong. So without good rhythm, we cannot have a good emotional lead, and this is the best exercise you can do to bridge the two together. And the fifth and final exercise that is arguably the most complicated is you're going to play a chord and then play a corresponding major or minor pentatonic. So if you take a major chord, we then play the major pentatonic shell. And if you have a minor chord, that minor pentatonic shell, obviously starting from a home note. And for those of you that aren't subscribed and didn't know what I meant by major minor pentatonic shell, this is a basic major pentatonic shell. This is your basic minor. And basically, when you play a major shell off a 1, 4, or 5 chord, all these notes will be in the right key. And for the 2, 3, and 6, the minor pentatonic shell will do the same thing. And of course, if you found this video and the way it progressed helpful, leave a like down below so I know it's helping you out. And of course, subscribe for more content. And if you have any burning questions, please comment them down below with other ways to make these videos better for you.